I'm brought into the game out of violence. That's the first language in Miami. Ain't nothing wild than a bunch of juveniles with no guidance. Robbery was like second nature. I went to the driver's side, told the driver, hey, this is Jack, don't make it a homicide. I was the shot caller from Miami. I got hit 5 times in the chest. I didn't know I was getting stabbed until I felt the shortness of breath. I'm spending $5,000 and I'm getting me 1,000 pills. I'm hood rich.
OG Gigavelli is a certified gangster from the slums of Miami, Florida. He came of age during the wild 1980s and 90s, and in the projects of Miami, nobody was wilder than OG. Carjackings in broad daylight, robbing tourists at gunpoint, and brutally stabbing his enemies in prison. OG's life was non-stop violence. In the early 2000s, he finally caught a run as a big-time drug dealer, getting money out of town in Knoxville, Tennessee, until he was taken down in 2006 and sentenced to 21 years in federal prison. This story is crazy. OG is the embodiment of a Miami boy, the descendant of islanders who went on to terrorize the South Florida projects, but who is now using his platform for good. Check out OG on YouTube and his podcast, What They Do, as well as his book, Pressure, available on Amazon. And for a bonus episode with OG, where he talks about his grimy stories from the feds, as well as his road to redemption through Islam, hit that Patreon. You know what to do. Patreon.com/TheConnectShow. All right, guys, this is the perfect episode to start the new year. Happy 2026. OG Gigavelli right here on The Connect with Johnny Mitchell.
When you come to the culture of the hip-hop or anything, Miami contributes.
Right. And when you talk about crime and drugs and thugging in the game, when you think about Miami, it's pretty much only known for Cuban and Colombian coke dealing, Griselda, and the era of the Cocaine Cowboys. So that's why this is really an exciting interview for me, because you come from like the SWATs, and it's an era and a subculture that most people don't talk about. So go into it, man. Tell us where you're from.
Man, first and foremost, thanks for having me. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I know how big your platform is. I was excited when you reached out to me because I want to be able to reach a lot of people. I'm from Dade County, a.k.a. the bottom, Miami, you know what I'm saying? The original source city of the East Coast, basically, and beyond, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Brownsville, by way of Liberty City, Tutu Ave.
Yeah, Liberty City. I mean, I've heard of Liberty City. That used to be the hood. The hood.
Used to be, still the hood.
Still is?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're not going to change. The hood is the hood.
Yeah, so you basically have 3, we'll call it black criminal elements in Miami, and correct me if I'm wrong. You've got the Haitian influence with the Zopound gang. Right. You've got you've got kind of where you come from and what you guys were involved in, the Bahamians and the Islanders. And then, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. But tell us where... like what was family life like? What was growing up like? And how did you first get involved in the street?
First and foremost, man, I know you normally have, your show is called A Connect. So you normally have big dope boys, the plug or whatever. My story is a story of violence. You know what I'm saying? The violence that, if you look at Miami, and when you ask me where I come from, you look at Miami, growing up in Miami, I grew up in the Cocaine Cowboy era. I grew up with the Zella Bronco era, the Cubans and the Colombian wars. You know what I'm saying? The Scarface story portrayed. So I grew up in poverty like everybody else. My story is the story of every young cat out of Miami growing up in apartment buildings, in the projects, in the hood. But I'm not from the crack. I'm from the heroin era, the dog food era, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up seeing syringes laying around. I remember when I was 7 years old, I know I was about 2nd grade, if I'm not sure, about 7th grade. My mom used to drop me off in Brown Sub over my auntie house, my great auntie house. And she used to leave us, so she'd drop me off on Friday, and it was my responsibility to catch the bus from the sub back to where we moved at in the city, you know what I'm saying, on Tutu Ave. So I remember walking by this old abandoned, right, if you're from Miami, you know what I'm talking about, on 41st and 22nd Avenue. It's like used to be like a garage where they fix cars. You know how they have the two sides where the cars are pull in at? Well, this particular spot, it was abandoned, And I remember catching a fucked up odor walking by. I'm 7 years old. I'm heading to the mountain rail station to catch the bus. And I looked in, it was my first time seeing a dead body. You know what I'm saying? Seeing, and it was this big, I guess he was Spanish because he was your complexion, white or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And he was laying there, he was in a suit. And I remember seeing a lot of white stuff on him. At this particular time, you know, I'm from Miami, I knew it was drugs. I knew it was coke. And I seen it, and his body had done swolled up. You know what I'm saying? It had been there for, I guess, maybe a couple of days or whatever. And I remember looking at it, and I remember walking up on it and seeing the bullet hole through his head, where it went through his head. And I looked around, and I was like, you know, I didn't see any money. That's what I walked up on, you know what I mean? I was gonna loot the money, but I didn't know what to do with the drugs. Like somebody dumped like maybe a key or so. Now, as an adult, I know maybe it had to be over a brick on his body. And I remember telling one of my homeboys later on about this story when I was in a joint, and my homeboy told me the reason they was doing that back then was they would leave drugs on the scene so the investigation to know this drug related. And it won't get as much respect as, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, everybody on the take back then.
Right. So if they knew, if Miami homicide saw that it was over some drugs, they would say, just chalk it up.
Let's
move on.
Part of the walk, because it was going on so much, you know.
People are dying every day.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? So my story is a story, I'm brought into the game out of violence. That's the first language in Miami, violence, you know what I'm saying? And that was molded me to be, you know, the force that I am, you know what I mean? When it came to making a name in the streets, I was known for being a real quick, violent dude, you know what I'm saying? From jail and outside of jail.
Yeah. Okay, so you said the heroin era, so we're talking like the late 70s, early 80s?
I'm 74, baby.
Okay.
I'm 51 years old, you know what I mean? So I'm talking about the early 80s. I can't tell you what happened while I was a baby. I can tell you when I started seeing, when I started noticing, you know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, it's wild. That's a part of Miami that just is tucked away and nobody sees, but it really looks like the South in these Miami neighborhoods, like what we associate with like the deep South. Bodies not getting picked up for days, people ODing in little alleyways. It's hot as you know.
Right. You know, in that heat, that body gonna stink quick.
For sure. The shower posse, I forgot. That was another element to the black subculture. The shower Jamaicans. Posse, they were dropping a lot of bodies, and, you know, the Jamaicans moving a lot of coke and marijuana and stuff like that. So how did you get involved? Well, and what age? And did you have a little crew?
No, like you know, me getting, when you say involved, I started out hustling, man. I didn't come in the game selling drugs off rip. I really came in the game robbing, but that started after the hustle. I was a little hustler. I was one of the kids down in Miami you call a quarterhead. I run to the store for the hustlers and the number men and shit like that. I was one of them guys that say, hey, come here, little Jig, or come here, little pig, after my daddy. And I would run to the store, get them cigarettes, or go get them, you know, whatever, a bill, whatever they ask me to go get. And they'll give me a quarter, they'll give me, you know, 50 cents, they'll give me $1, you know what I mean? I started little hustles like that, you know. And like I told you, my mom used to drop me off of my great-grandma. She was the frozen cup lady. So everybody around me hustle, you know what I'm saying? So quite naturally, then my dad was a hustler, you know what I'm saying? So I went at it early on from adolescence, from a jit. You know what I'm saying? We call young people jits.
Yeah.
From a jit, I went on being a hustler, pumping gas, bagging groceries. You know what I mean? Selling cans like the junkies. You know what I mean? I had my bags of cans on the side of the house. And so when I started getting up in age, around teenage age, that wasn't cool no more. That the bag and grocery, the pumping gas.
No.
I got put down by one of my homeboys, man. Shout out to Big World. You know what I mean? On 15th Ave. I started out being a little watch out. You know, $50 a night. Watching out, but I was one of the highest paid. I was watching out for 2 spots. I was watching out for World, and my position on the Ave on 71st and 15th. You know what I mean? I was also watching out for my homeboy, God bless the dead, Jit. You know what I mean? With Star Boulders. So I'm getting 50 over here, 50 over there, including what else my little hustle. So in the 80s,
It's good money.
yeah, you look at it. I'm 14 years old.
Are these
15
crack
years old.
spots now?
These one spot, people, Star Boulders was a juggler spot where you could buy a $5 rock and go somewhere else in Miami and sell it for 40 because you're gonna break it down. That's called a juggler. You know what I'm saying? You be able to make some more money off it. And then the spot in Peeping was a $20 powder spot. You know what I'm saying? You hear me saying names because in Miami, we had, like Trick said on one interview, we had designer dope. You know what I'm saying? I think, matter of fact, it was on Miami Kingpin's
What
documentary.
is
that means we put names on our packages.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
You say you guys were the first ones to kind of professionalize drug trafficking.
It's a fact. That's a fact.
Can you explain that more?
When we were speaking off camera, I was telling Miami don't get the credit for what it brought to to the culture of the game, being the dope game, right? You see everybody, they looking at the BMF movement, you know what I mean? And shout out to Meets them or whatever they moved. They was loud with it. They did the billboards. Miami wasn't trained like that. We was organized. When you see New Jack City and you see these movies where you see a organization serving, that was implemented by my big homeboy, some of these guys that's in the picture on my shirt. You know what I mean? Big Ike, Convertible Bird, Big Trap. You know what I'm saying? I could name so many of them. Boss Man and you know what I mean, so forth.
Right.
Miami, you know. But what we had was watch outs. Like I just told one of the ones I want, one who would watch out for the police. Then we had which we call the bond man. A lot of people get that mixed up, but it's the bond man because he's the only one he's the one serving the drugs, the actual product hand to hand. So he's the one taking the most risk. So he became the bond man because if he go to jail, the crew gonna bond him out real quick. Then we had the gunman who nobody sees because he's in a cut from a spot where you don't know, but he's out there. You know what I'm saying? He crossed the street with the AK.
Like a sniper almost.
He's a sniper. You know what I'm saying? You don't see him, and then that's a structure. And you were able to pull up and you were able to get, on 15th and all our drug holes, and we had them right by each other, and people would know us by the name of the product. So they knew they was getting quality designer drugs.
And did you guys have the vials, the tops like they do in New York?
We didn't do. We had the baggies,
the glassine bags,
the skill bags, and when a weed was sold in the little envelopes, and it would have a certain stamp on it, representing what particular weed that was or whatever particular drug that was.
Right. Did the guys on your shirt, like, were they getting their product wholesale from the Cubans, or are you aware of any of those like guys back in the day that actually had direct Colombian connects?
Listen. For those who viewing this, man, y'all seen American Gangster. One of Denzel Washington playing American Gangster. He played a dude out of Harlem, Frank Lucas, right? You see him go all the way to Vietnam and meet the plug and flood Harlem streets with heroin, right? We had the same thing going on in Miami. We had Big Quote. My homeboy, Big Quote, rest in peace. My homeboy just recently passed, Robert Hawkins. They was bringing the actual work in, and I'm gonna share this content so you could be able to proof it. They were bringing the actual work in and I can speak about them now because they did. It's over with. We ain't solving no cases, but they were bringing the actual work in, went way over there and had the work brought in the caskets, in the caskets of dead soldiers. You know what I'm saying? So.
So they went to Southeast Asia for the heroin?
They went to the source.
Wow.
They had the direct. Listen. We Miami. If you go back and you track, you got Willie Falcon, you got, you know what I'm saying? You got Sal, you got these boys, the biggest drug traffickers. They already been whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got the Cocaine Cowboys. You got all this. Y'all see it. They not serving it in the hood. They gotta have a plug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all my homeboys don't went and served 30 and 40 years on this time and came home, you know what I mean, with standards, not no rats or nothing. So they done came home and served their time. Now that I'm talking about it is because I'm advocating for them so our stories can be told. You don't have to sit on podcast.
Right.
You can watch it on the big screen.
Right.
You fascinated by Scarface? Okay, Bo Diddley, the original Scarface. You know what I mean?
His name was Bo Diddley?
Yeah, that's my homie.
I think Rick Ross, I've heard him rapping about Bo Diddley.
Yeah, you hear a lot of people rap about
So
Bo
a guy
Diddley.
like Bo Diddley got to the level of like a Willie Falcone, where he didn't have to get middleman by the Cubans. He had a direct source, like he was getting it wholesale.
It's always a middleman. There's always a connect. It's always a plug. But he was a big figure in that. You know what I'm saying? That's why Miami Kingpins, go watch the documentary. He speaks for himself. I don't have to speak for Bo Diddley. He's out here. You know what I'm saying?
So who the crew you were running with, did you guys know who like the shot caller was getting the work? Like how structured was it?
Let me tell you something about Miami, right? You know who the plug. You know, I used to park convertible Burt cars when I was a jit. You know what I'm saying? So I know who Burt was. I know I'm gonna send you pictures of me and Burt. I talked to Burt there. Yeah. I can call him right now. You know what I'm saying? I know who Big Trav is. You know what I'm saying? I watch these boys. They in the hood. These are our neighborhood superstars. They not hiding nowhere. They on the block. You know what I'm saying? They got the report cards line. You do good in school, they give you $100 for A. Wow. You know what I mean? They taking the whole projects to Disney World. Wow. You know what I'm saying? These was our neighborhood superstars. Yeah. This is why when the rappers rap about them because they was seeing what they was doing. Convertible Burt bought Tyson on the app. You know what I'm saying? On 15 app. All this is documentary. You know what I mean? So yeah, we know who they is, but they taught us something. This is why you seeing me being one of your first guests from Miami to speak on that, because Miami has been trained that we are not to be seen, to be heard. And I showed you that contrast earlier when I said, shout out to BMF. BMF was loud. BMF had the billboard. Look at us. You know what I'm saying? But Meech had a strategy for that. He was trying to insert the industry and promote his way and hide what he was doing. So I'm not throwing shade. Yeah. I'm just showing the fact that we train different. You see you could see a Miami Kingpin with some Dickies on, like my homeboy Big Ike. Big Ike would have a working man Dickie on or overall on. Yeah. The pictures you see with Big Ike and Bo Diddley and all them with the jury on, if they knew social media was gonna put that all everywhere, they would have never let them pictures be out. Them was at private events. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they not about the attention. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because who know.
And you were saying like the influence of the islands, like the Bahamas and Haiti, on the hoods in Miami, it kind of breeds really good business people, really like shrewd business people. There's something about immigrants that actually make them better business minds than ordinary cats from different hoods.
You know what you know. You said it, you hit the nail on the head. What makes a Haitian a shrewd businessman? He can speak 3 languages. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. He can speak Creole. He can speak English. He can speak Spanish. So here's a black man that could do. Why you think they got the success? The Haitians own whole half of Miami now. They started in Little Haiti. Now they own the whole East Coast. They all the way up to North Miami because they shrewd businessmen. Right. Then you got Cubans. You know what I'm saying? They could pass for different nationalities. You can see a Cuban black as me. You can see a Cuban light as you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the politic, and then when you come, I told you when you come across that water. In inner tubes, in vessels that you watch the cousin fall over and die.
Right. Sharks everywhere.
You get to the land of you're not playing.
No.
You on your grind. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see so many immigrants coming over here suppressing entitled Americans.
Exactly.
We get over, we feel entitled, we getting lazy. They not lazy, they hungry.
Exactly. I also think too, though, the violence of those islands, like the savagery that goes on in the Bahamas, you know, people get chopped up. Still,
that's what I was telling you.
I think that culture also found its way to the hoods in Miami as well, don't you think?
Listen, I told you my story is a story beat out of violence. I'm going to tell you why. My grandma was a midwife in the Bahamas. Shout out to the 242, right, if you're watching this. You know my grandma, man, Nassau, Bahamas, Camita Walks. She was the nursemaid. She born, that's why I'm good in the Bahamas. My grandma damn near birthed everybody out the hood that I'm out of. You know what I'm saying? Over there. So as a youth, I was going over there on the holidays, on the summer breaks. My mama would send me to the island to be with my grandma from 6, 7, 8, 5 years old, far back I can remember. Wow. I remember seeing my grandma. She wasn't the only one just bringing birth. She was patching up machete wounds. Dudes were literally chopping each other up, and my grandma would put something called Epsom salt It's like it's a white powdery substance, and it would stop the bleeding. I was seeing this early on. So when I came back to Miami off those breaks, I get in little fights around the hood. I was different. I would pick a rock, I would bust your head. You know what I'm saying? I would stick something in you. One of the first charges I went to Juvenile for stabbing a dude in 6th grade. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it just made me more violent than the actual American-born African-American in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Because I got island in me. You know what I mean?
Because that shit is nothing over there.
That shit is nothing over there. It ain't take nothing to pull a trigger, but you more up in person when you stabbing and cutting or chopping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just we were raised like that.
And that is why Miami is different.
That's why Miami is different, you know?
But also, just before we move on with your story, I think because of that shrewdness and that more worldly international culture, I think a lot of those black kingpins really invested their money in property, and they did what the cocaine kingpins did with their money. Like I think they made it last longer than some of the flashy guys from Washington D.C. or Harlem.
You pointed out something, right? And I want to zero in on what you just said. Our kingpins put back into the community. Our kingpins taught the guys my age that witnessed them in their heyday what to do with the dope money. Ike bought a construction company. Ike had property. Ike had clubs. Rick Brownlee, one of my other homeboys, he had a supermarket. He had a fish market. He had numerous businesses around the city, created jobs, you know what I mean? All of our kingpins, you know what I mean, that they had Bunky Brown had he over town, he had the hall, the pool hall. So you would know what to do with the drug money, you know what I'm saying? So I've really, when I look back now, when I did my prison time, and I look back and I look at my city and I say, I could see why the hand that be. Because I don't care where you at, what city you from, you're not bringing the dope in. You're not allowing the dope to be in. You a victim of a bigger scale, and that's a whole nother topic. I don't want to go too far deep. But Miami kingpins got rounded up around the same time, like 91, late 89's, like, hold up. We got to stop y'all. We got Yahweh buying up all this property. We got to stop that because that is promoting what we don't. But then we going to let L.A. do what it do. We going to let New York do what it do. We going to let Detroit do what it do. You know what I'm saying? And you look at some of them cities now like Detroit, blacks ain't owning shit. We not owning shit over here. Then you look at Miami, they not owning shit like over here. So they play into the violence when Miami was playing into the ownership, boss shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we lost that when we lost our kingpins and we lost our leadership.
Okay, so that's interesting. So it was about 91 that you really become a free agent. That's when all these big takedown of these old school heads. But what happened? So you're a watch out.
Right.
I love Miami. It's different. Everywhere else is lookout. You're a watch out. Right. What happens next? How did you develop and grow?
Well, watch out. Dope money was slow money back then. You know what I mean? Because everybody in the dope, not really everybody, but it wasn't fast enough for me. You know what I mean? And I didn't take too kindly to being a worker. You know what I mean? So I got to doing what the next choice was, robbing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was at the light, picking targets, robbing. Whatever looked like a lick. I think if you watch my interview on Matt Cox, I was telling you we were robbing tourists. You know what I'm saying? The next best thing, out of town, Miami is a tourist city. So we hitting licks. We call them funk. You know what I'm saying? We catching them at the light. We catching them slipping. You know what I mean?
Like carjacking?
Well, I don't want the car. I want the money. You can keep the car. I want the jewelry, the money. You know what I mean? We were smash and grab. This is called a smash and grab. Yeah. But before I started smash and grab, I was on robbing at the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's what I went into. I shared a couple of incidents what ended up getting me going to Juvenile. I ended up having a big-ass shootout. Me and my homeboy, KK, a real one. We ended up having a shootout. I was 15. KK was 14. It was back to school time. I ain't have no money. KK ain't have no money, but we had some guns. And we were leaving the Omni Mall. I seen Funk. I seen some white people with first thing I spotted was the guy throwed his arm on the steering wheel. I seen the Rolex. I look at KK. We had done did this numerous of times, so it's like mine. And he went to the passenger side. He got the woman up on. I went to the driver's side. Told the driver, "Hey, listen. One of my favorite lines. This is Jack. Don't make it a homicide." You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know it's cliche, but it's the shit that we do. You know what I mean? So I was. It's crazy to think about it now. I was comfortable doing that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't. I see people that shoplift. I see people that do other things, and I don't got the nerve to do that shit. I ain't no good thief, but I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. But robbery was like second nature. You know what I'm saying?
At a stoplight.
At a stoplight, and Miami is such a city. Like I told you, used to violence.
Yeah.
At any given time, it could be some shit going on. Cars, people mind their business.
So you weren't worried about more heat from jacking white people and tourists? You weren't worried about the extra heat that might bring down? I mean, props to you for not brutalizing people in your own community, but
No, reason. I'm not a racist, so it ain't like I'm chosen. No, it's not that I'm chosen white people because I don't like them.
Of course not.
The people in my neighborhood ain't got no money,
right?
And then I end up robbing somebody, mama, son, somebody, auntie, or some shit for her check and shit.
Right.
Then I got to deal with her son. I got to deal with her. I get identified. I robbed these white folks over here. Not that white shit. They could be Japanese, Russians, whoever. You a visitor to Miami. It wasn't just we was targeting tourists.
I would pull a lick on a Japanese person. I don't think they would put up much resistance.
I mean, the way that we was doing it, you couldn't resist at all. You know what I mean? It was like it was so quickly happened, unexpectedly happened.
So would you leave the hood and go to tourist spots? Like, would you go? Brickell wasn't a thing, but like
Brickell was a thing.
Brickell was a thing. So
that's a route.
Licks?
That's a route. We call them routes. We would leave the hood. We would go to the airport. We would be on a route looking for tourists. But it was so crazy before I'm one of the reasons, me and the guys that was doing this time, shout out to the Robin Hood and OJ, rest in peace, and Paul and all my brothers. Y'all know Miami, you know who I'm talking about. But we didn't have to leave the hood sometime. People would get lost and be right there, and we would see them. They would be riding around with a map, the light on. Like, this sweet. You brought it to me like this is early Christmas.
That's some work, yeah.
It's early Christmas, you know what I mean?
And Miami's a small city. Like, the hood is pressed up right against.
Right there. Miami Beach, Overtown. Brickell, Overtown.
Yeah.
The airport, Brown Sub. You know what I mean? I'm glad we got a little more time because I don't generally, I could laugh about it. But I was in the era. I was really in the era where just didn't know better. I was a product of my environment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making no excuses because that ain't what I represent now. But back to the story. We had to I love telling the story because
it's exciting. I wish I could have been part of it.
I love telling the story because KK a changed man now. He does air condition repair. He raising a son. I'm an author. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm doing positive things. So I look back now at this robbery. It changes our life. KK catching 17 years. We had a shootout.
Okay, yeah. So you go to rob this
couple.
This couple. Okay. What happens?
We at the light. We robbing the couple, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the watch. I done got the watch. I done made him give me his wallet. So like I say, cars are hitting the going around, minding their business. And I hear freeze. So when I hear that, the next thing I heard, before I could turn my head, boom, 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 it's shots being fired. KK done fired, it's a hero. We call him a hero. It's someone that decides, I wanna intervene in this
Samaritan.
Shit. Good Samaritan. He was down in I call it a police stout. It's like when you protect yourself between the door and you don't see it in the movies. And he was down like that. And I looked over and all I seen was KK shooting from the other side of the car towards his car. He returned fire, but it seemed like he was like bullets was hitting towards me. And cause it's these little poles that was like supposed to prevent cars from like going into car lots or whatever, little poles I'm saying. And I kept one or two was right by me and I ding, ding, ding. I'm like, what the f-? So, coming up like I come up, man, anybody that was involved in the type of shit that me and KK was involved, there was a bunch of us that was doing it. One of the things that we had a saying for, if you buck, we bust. So at the end of the day, this a buck now. Y'all bucking. So I had to let go. So I let go a few rounds, but I wasn't planning on staying there. And then I'm taking fire, and I ain't got no real cover. So my next thing, to make sure I get me a few rounds out, because when we get away, I'm planning on getting away, I can at least show that I got off, and you know what I mean? So I rent to my little homeboys. It was 2 other guys with us, but they wasn't participating. Shout out to my homeboy Dooney and Cat Eye from Overtown and his cousin Pat. I went to try to get them my gun because they had actually went shopping. And they were like, no, run that way. And I ran, because they were from Overtown. So I started heading back Overtown, ran through the graveyard. If y'all know what I'm talking about, it's the next street from around the Omni Mall. It's a graveyard. If you head back towards Overtown, you're going to have to pass through it. It's a good way to pass through it. So I'm like running through the graveyard, KK running behind me. I look back over my shoulder. He's trying to ditch the pocketbook. So he's going through the pocketbook trying to get the little cash out or whatever. I kept going. I end up making it over town, waiting on KK to come through. I hear all kind of sirens. As I was running my way, I'm passing police is going towards the scene. But I'm stopping and running, And but I end up making it back. But later, someone either pointed me out. When I think back now, the police got local snitches, local in the hood, like the crackheads, prostitutes. Yeah. One of them pointed me out. They had long got KK. I found out later on, both of us go to Juvenile.
Did anybody get hit?
What you mean? No one got hit.
Okay.
Fortunately, you know what I mean? Because KK ended up getting more time than me because we got charged as Juvenile. I'm 15, KK 14. We had what they call a waiver hearing. They couldn't just charge us as an adult first. They had a waiver hearing, and this waiver hearing is like a mini trial where they have to get probable cause. They have to have evidence to, the burden is on the government. And they didn't meet the burden when it came to my part. I didn't get pointed out by anybody. KK got identified. He went to the 10th floor. I was already on the run from a program that I had left that summer. I had left the program. It was a drug program that I went to, and I had left. So I had pending charges from escape from there and a sales charge. So I was staying in the hall anyway. I was going to a program anyway. I was just prolonging myself with the process of the robbery. So I went on ahead, ignorant as I am now. I copped out to the shit. 2 counts of armed robbery, 3 counts of attempted murder, and me having an extra charge with cocaine with 1,000 feet of school zone. And I went to Okeechobee Boys School. KK ended up going to state prison.
How long were your sentences, both of yours?
I got the best end of the deal. KK ended up doing like 11 years, probably more than that. He caught 17 years as a juvenile. He was 14 years old. I felt terrible, you know what I'm saying, because I peeped that lick, you know what I mean? Right. I'm the one that chose that one, but he made it through. Like I say, he do air conditioning. He's doing well. He made a better man. I ended up catching boys school. I ended up doing like almost 16 months.
Oh, that's not bad.
You tell me about it.
Man.
Tell me about it.
So Okeechobee?
Okeechobee Boys School.
All right, and that must be like gladiator school, those jet schools.
I done been in prisons, state level prisons, federal pens. Ain't nothing wild than a bunch of juveniles with no guidance. Shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Ignorant. They walk by and stick their hand in your food just for bullshit. Nighttime, you lay in your bed, I just throw some hot water on your ass just because they bored. That type of shit.
Just violence, senseless violence.
I told y'all before y'all start watching, it's a story of violence.
So did you have to get down in there?
You had to get down.
Yeah.
I was one of the shot callers. I was the shot caller from Miami. There at the age of 15. I had a crew there. We ended up getting it down a couple times. One of the biggest ones we had was Fort Myers. Shout out to them boys from Fort Myers. I formulated, we ended up getting into a beef with them. Y'all, Fort Myers took a L because of my leadership. Shout out to my homeboy, Keith. I remember when he was just a little skinny little son off 103rd, man. Keith was tall. I got all the homeboys that was going to participate in it. We had a little beef with Fort Myers. I got all them together. I was like, hey, man, you going to fight this person. I'm going to fight that person. You going to fight this person.
Yeah.
And then I shout out to Palm Beach, man. Palm Beach aided and assisted us. To my homeboy, Arthur Veins. He gone now. Y'all know him by Dusty. And Frank Richburg. You know what I mean? They lend a hand. So we had I had a lot of little incidents at Okeechobee Boys School.
And is it just rumbling? Is it just fist fighting? Or are cats getting stabbed in there too?
Man, you getting hit in the head with hammers, hickey sticks, locks in the socks. I kept me a knife on me there, you know what I mean? When I was 02, I was 144 pounds. I'm not finna do too much fight. I'm putting that knife in your head. I'm putting that knife in your life.
Yeah.
ASAP.
So you did that?
Did I do that? Man, come on, man. That's what I'm known for. I told I'm Bahamian, man. Half Bahamian, man.
Right.
I'm lead. That's one thing. Like in the federal prison, they always talk about DC. Boy, DC. Florida. Like especially Miami, Florida. Like Haitians, Cubans, Jamaicans, man, we knife first.
Did you know how to stick somebody without making it fatal? Just to keep somebody, on their toes,
right.
Just a little punishment.
That ice
you
pick
know?
game. Yeah, I know how to do that. Of course, I'm trained in doing it. That's what I was doing. A little ice pick. I'm not trying to kill you, but if you with me, I'm trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give what happened to you.
What is the ice pick?
You know what I'm saying? Look, like I made one off Okeechobee Boys School, right? It's the little, they got shit that keep the fence together. Yeah. You go out there, you peel it out, it's real soft iron kind of,
right.
But it's still hard enough. You straighten it out and it fouls down real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's an ice pick.
That hurts like a...
That's that. Get up off me a little bit. That's just that, you a little too big for me. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go get a tetanus shot.
I'm gonna hit you in your kidney a few times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what that's about.
So
that's
kidney's not fatal, but it could.
Like I told you, with me, I don't give a if it's fatal or not.
Right.
Man. I'm just being honest with you. At that point, you think I'm fighting with my knife. If I got to use my knife, I'm already feeling like you a little too much for me. So you besides me, I prefer to whoop them with my hands. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm known for in Dade County. Like I was a houseman in Dade County. On the 10th, we get our floors are called the House of Pain. For a reason. 5th floor, 6th floor, 10th floor, one of the hardest floors in Dade County Jail. And I represented on all them floors. That's what I'm really known for. You know what I mean? That's what I'm really known for. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of stabbing or getting stabbed. That sounds like a horrible, horrible way to go.
Let me tell you something. I done been stabbed. I could tell you I got stabbed 8 times by some Serenos. And everybody that's watching this, get in the comments. You was there. If you was in Florida, if you was at Manchester 2015, one of the biggest riots in Manchester history was about me, about the weight pile. You know what I'm saying? I got hit 2 times in the back of the neck, 5 times in the chest, 1 time in the back from one of the head Serenos. If you ever watch Gangland, it's an episode in Gangland where they talk about the satellite house. That's Sereno. I forgot his name, but he was the shot caller at Manchester in 215. I know it because when he got there, it was a big ruckus amongst the Serenos, like some big shot on the pound. If you look at him, you would think he a nerd or some shit. He wore glasses, a little short dude, but his mom was a big carrier for the cartels in South Central. You know what I mean? His brother actually got killed by this episode I'm talking about. His brother got killed by the police in their front yard, and they called it the satellite house because it had a big satellite. You may know the episode I'm talking about. Go check it out. Fact check it. On Gangland, I got into it with him. He green lighted me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so they were coming to kill you?
Yeah, they came. I got stabbed and airlifted. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I got airlifted, but the funny thing about it, they gave my helicopter away twice. Because as soon as the word spread that Miami, they were calling me Miami in Kentucky. Miami, they just stabbed Miami on the weight pile. Every unit, the whole compound blew up. The GDs, Vice Lord, Crips, Bloods, all blacks just crushed the Serenos, crushed the Pisces.
Really?
Yeah. All that big ride.
But what does that mean? They held your airlift?
When I mean they hit my airlift, was coming in there with their heads busted open, in more critical condition than me, and I'm spitting up blood because I got a long shot. I got hit 5 times in the chest.
Were you able to fight back?
Of course, I went back. I went out. I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be. I beat the two guys. I didn't know I was getting stabbed until I felt the shortness of breath, and I'm like, these stabbed because I had took off. Soon when the first one went at me, they came like they was coming to politic and talk. It was over the weight pile. So when he came, it was two of them came towards me. Shout out to my homeboy 30, my workout partner. He GD from Nashville. He was over to the side. 5 of them went over there. He got stabbed 2 times. He was fighting 5 of them. I was fighting 2 of them that got me. The shot caller and another little hitman he had with him. They caught me at the vulnerable time. They caught me at lunchtime with that many blacks wasn't on the yard. Majority of the blacks that was on the yard, they was on the basketball court. We had a problem over the weight pile. You know, they were trying to Serrano's, anybody on time with the Serrano's, they try to get somewhere, and it could be a garbage can. This our garbage can, this our TV, you know. If you let them, they gonna do what they do. I wasn't about that. I'm a Miami boy, you know what I'm saying? I don't adhere to shot calling. I'm a Miami boy, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I do, you know. I don't know what I mean. So if you cross me, that's how I went through. I was on man time in the feds. Even though I was part of the Muslim community, I still, even the imam understood. If it comes to me, ain't no accent or this and that about no situation. If a man disrespect, we gonna handle that right then and there. And that's how I did all my time. But this particular incident, you asked me, did I fight back? Man, I went off like a missing link. You know what I'm saying? I had a water cooler that I used to work out with. I broke that across one of their heads. You know what I'm saying? I'm wilding, and when I finally found out that when I'm fighting this one, the other one hit me in the back of the neck. You know, cause I was trying to turn this way a little bit. You know what I mean? And then when I turned towards him, that's when the other one that I was fighting hit me in the chest 5 times. You know what I mean? So when I realized that I'm thinking they throwing blows, but they had them little ice picks that I'm telling you about, balled up in their hand, and they were stabbing me. And when I felt the short in the breast, it was a baseball bat laying, you know, because they was getting ready for a softball game. So I'm always aware. When you doing prison time like I do, you aware of everything. When you hit any space, you looking for a weapon. In case anything jump. Now, you always know where weapons are, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you ain't toting a knife on you. I had already spotted that baseball bat. That's why when we were having a little difference between them, we on the weight pile. Y'all don't want this wreck. And be all fairness to you, and people could really say it takes 2 Mexicans to meet a black. Come on, size and structure. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna knock me by 2 or 3 Mexicans out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But Mexicans ain't fighting no head up fade.
No,
they don't fight.
They got numbers.
They move when they move when it's strategically to their advantage. They didn't want to push off on the weight pile because you got weights there.
There's weights there.
They waited till I got off the weight pile and they came to me like they was ready to hatch it out in peace, but it was the ambush. You know what I mean?
So you're getting ambushed, you grab the bat.
And I try to run toward that bat. When I try to run toward that bat, I ran into a Paisa or one of the Paisas that was guarding there. So I ran around because I couldn't get through the gate to get the bat. That's when the blacks, a bunch of GDs and stuff, they was on the basketball court. They seen what's going on, and I'm running toward them. They like, Miami, what's up? By this time, my whole shirt is red, one of the white prison shirts. I'm pouring blood.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I said, these Chicos, we call it, done stab me, man. You know what I'm saying? Essays. So they were like, nah. That's when the whole basketball court started coming towards them. By that time now, dudes that seen what was going on, you know, you're going to have a bunch of dudes that ain't going to start running off the weight pile, start running off the yard. You know what I'm saying? So that alerted the COs.
Right.
So now the deuces done been hit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they come out, they lay everybody down on the yard.
Right.
I'm bleeding like they see that I'm injured, so they taking me to a medical. I see the that just stabbed me up. They in the group. They done cutted themselves in the group. I ain't pointing, oh, that's what I did. I'm looking at them like, yeah, because you got off a little bit, right?
But you missed, though, because I'm breathing.
Breathing, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so then you got taken off the yard. Is that when the retaliation happened,
that's
or afterwards?
When every unit blew up.
Okay.
Instantly. Soon as the news got back, some guys that ran off the weight pile took the news to the yard. When they took the news to the yard, every Mexican on every unit got crushed.
Like stabbed and taken off?
Stabbed, crushed, taken off. If you want to get confirmation about this, what I'm saying, go to my YouTube channel too, what they do podcast, you will see dudes that participate in the riot. I done interviewed them.
Yeah, we believe you.
Yeah, I know. But I know people like to fact check, and I want them to.
Yeah, just remember in the comments, these aren't like PhD students.
Oh,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
So, not that I don't love our haters. I do. No. They're all welcome.
I mean, they helping the algorithm.
Everybody's welcome on the connect.
Comment.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't block. I don't comment back. I don't even read them. But they have to have a place to go.
Right.
Why not here?
Right.
So this is wild. Why did you just have that much respect, or is that kind of retaliation just expected racially when somebody gets ambushed like this?
It's both of what you just said. First and foremost, when it's a race, it could be the white boys, it could be the dirty, the ABs you could be into it with. When it's a race situation, ain't nobody running up on you asking who you with. Oh, we just into it with the Crips. Or we just into it with the GD. It's a race situation.
It's black,
black
Mexican,
against
white.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, but in my particular reason, what made everybody so eager and willing to do it, I was on what you call part of a coalition of real cats that knew that my paperwork was solid. You see on my arm right there, I got stopped snitching. Mm-hmm. Like, my paperwork solid. Right. I could sit at any table, any prison I went to, I was able to sit at any table. GD, Vice Lord. Right. So I was well respected amongst the cars. Right. And if SIS up, you know what SIS is?
The investigation. The prison investigation.
They were like, I had been on that yard 8 years under the radar. Wow. No problem. But when they couldn't control the yard, because the yard kept going up. Every time they tried to reopen that yard, it went up because GDs was crushing GDs, Crips was crushing because they didn't go out. You were holding the door. Because, some people like, that, he ain't part of us. But for the court, like, it ain't by him. This is a situation. It's a race situation. Right. You see what I'm saying?
It's an existential threat.
So that yard stayed down for about 3 months. That's why I say it's one of the biggest riots of Manchester history.
And so that's
in 2015.
That's why that's the modern era. That's what's so crazy about this.
Man, every yard in Kentucky went up. Big Sandy went up, for instance. Lee County and
those are
went up.
All the big prisons.
Yeah, all of them went up, and that for different. Not because of me, for different reasons. You were hearing it. Serranos was trying to be forced into that area. Mm-hmm. That wasn't their hubs. That was a Paisa hub.
Right.
So,
So the retaliation caused people to get hurt even worse than you. And so they had to life flight.
They gave my helicopter away twice. I seen a Mexican come in medical. I'm sitting in medical, spitting in one of them little pans, telling the nurse, man, like I'm throwing up blood. Yeah. I'm spitting up blood. I'm thinking they had already sent for a helicopter for me. I got airlifted too. But I seen a Mexican come in. I'm talking about, when I'm not exaggerating, his whole half of his head was crushed. I don't know what he got hit with.
God.
But whole half of his head was crushed in. They gave my helicopter to him first. Then he was unconscious.
It's like being a black guy in New York in the 90s trying to get a cab. They just keep passing you.
Right,
like, I got to go to Brooklyn.
Right.
So all of the violence that you experienced in the state and the feds really began as a teenager at the JIT camps in the boys' school.
I told you it began before then. I growed up in violence. Yeah. I growed up watching rock fights in the Bahamas. I told you I seen a dead body when I was like 7 years old. Like when you watch Scarface and you see him shoot a bitch down in the middle of them, that shit was happening in Miami. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When you watch the movies and you see the Zoe Pounds them riding through and you see this shit happening in Miami, broad daylight. Yeah. We quote unquote, right? Every hood in America calls choppers, was calling AK-47 choppers, right? You go around and ask somebody what a chopper is today, they're going to say a stick. That's Miami talk. Future made a song, stick talk. That's Miami. We was calling them sticks because that's what we was toting around. Mini 14s, AK-47, sticks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was going down. Like that was shaped my violence. Right. And to be able to make it in Miami, that's the first line. That's the resolution of any problem. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got to get it out because there's money involved.
By the way, where are these huge sticks coming from?
I back then, you know how you see some states, you see a gun show, and they got the gun show, it's being filling in. There wasn't no gun shows in Miami. I literally know that for a fact. we would go to the Arab stores on the Ave and pay $150 for a K.
$150 for an AK.
For an AK-47, you know what I'm saying? So back then,
the Arab markets, the corner stores.
Back for the corner stores, man. Shout out to I mean, you know, so you could get anything you want, man. Come on now. You know what I mean? We talking about the streets. We talking about Miami. We talking about, you know what I mean? You could get what you want.
Florida is crazy. Okay, so you do 16 months at Okeechobee, and then you come home bad as ever.
I came home 91.
Okay.
During that time, like I told you, I went in for robbing with guns. When I came out in 91, everybody was robbing, you know, differently. And I got a little more smooth. If they call smash, they got a little spark plug. They smashing windows and they still robbing tourists and stuff. I come home. I really didn't want to come home. Like the whole course of my life, all the time, always been trying to change. Always been trying to, you know, get some money, but do it the right way. I come home after boys' school. I got me a little dishwashing job. I'm trying to do right. You know what I mean? I'm watching my homeboy. This time, you know, Polo's out, Tommy out. All of the little designers starting to hit this. My homeboys riding in different cars. I'm 17 now. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I done went up the road when I was 15. I'm 17 now. The streets calling. You know what I mean? And I responded. Back robbing. End up catching this like 91. I end up going in, beating a robbery, come back out 92. I catch a robbery and go in. I did from 92 to 96. I did 4 years. I caught 6 years. I did 4 years off it with 2 years paper.
Over a robbery again.
Over another robbery.
What are you robbing? Smash and grabs?
Smash and grabs at the time.
Okay, so
I'm 17 years old.
You never thought about hitting drug dealers?
I told you earlier. It's repercussion about hitting dope boys. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, like, you know, if you was weak, if you was a sucker, you know what I'm saying? If I see you out of town, you coming through the crib, like when you in the streets, you looking for opportunity. You looking, it's the jungle. So if you a fresh kill, you pull up in the hood, and I know, like, damn, you know, bro riding on some D's. Like, it's like middle society, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I know you ain't from around here, and you not really from Miami. Yeah, I'll put that pistol on you. I'll take your car. I'll take your jewelry. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I'm looking for the easy licks, the state, you know, the less conflict, the less repercussion behind it.
Would anybody try to come through out-of-towners? Because the ones that really had the weight are the nerds. The real business-minded drug dealers are not violent people usually. Did you have any out-of-towners try to come into the hood and set up shop?
No, ain't no shit. Miami, ain't nobody putting down in Miami.
Okay.
It's hard for Miami niggas to put down in Miami. So, you know what I mean? Ain't no we the cats that go everywhere. The Miami boys are the ones that go to every city. And I don't like to use the word put down. We welcome in. Mm-hmm. When you're a real Miami boy, you bringing work, you bringing game. Yeah. So you get welcomed to that city. You know what I'm saying? You get, come on. They ain't putting down. We coming to work with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You come to work with you.
Okay, so damn, so you caught another case.
I do 4 years. I come home 1996.
What was state prison like?
Gladiator.
Yeah.
Wow. State prison, the difference between state and feds is in the state, you dealing with more like you just said, in the feds, you dealing with minds, guys that did rent organizations. So there's a little more intelligent. It's a lot of politicking and before shit get to where it go at. Right. You know what I mean? In the state, you dealing with just everybody.
Animals.
You know what I mean? Low lives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
common criminals.
When I was in the state, man, I had started some shit in 96, 95. I got out in 90. I had went to a prison called Baker Correction. It's near Jacksonville. I started being from Miami. I got me a little crew together, right? And we started robbing for wedding bands.
Wedding bands?
Wedding bands. We were really robbing for whatever. But when we couldn't catch nobody bringing drugs in and make them give up their dope or whatever, or we couldn't catch somebody with a big bag of commissary bag that was weak, we know we could get some wedding bands because guys got the wedding bands.
Right, because you're allowed to wear that.
You're allowed to wear wedding bands. So that's
your rings,
a piece
your wedding
of jewelry.
rings. Okay.
It's worth something. So just imagine how hard it is to get a wedding band off a finger. How convincing you got to be. So me and my guys, we would catch a dude. Oh, he got a wedding band. We get that wedding band, we could take it to the weed man and get us, get us a couple bags of weed.
So you guys were jacking people in prison like you were on the streets.
Yeah.
How would you guys?
Prison is the streets. Only thing you missing in prison is your car. You getting CO guards. You know what I'm saying? I know prisons I done been to like you get on the visiting part, you throw the guard a little sudden, or you have your partner watch out for you. Just ways the. That's why I be tripping on everybody. They be like, oh, this is in prison. I mean, it's gay people in the world, so it's gay people in prison. But if it ain't gotta be gay in prison. You know what I mean? You got opportunities
to get.
Come on, man. You got dudes in there looking ripped up, built.
You look great.
You got female guards that they shaking the mood. They human too.
Yeah.
So.
Do you ever in there?
Come on, man. I done too much time not to be in prison. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done had visits, man. My girl come to visiting part, man. We out up in the gazebo. Everybody on the gazebo. My girl turned this way. His girl turned that way. We come out there with a little razor. Tell your girl wear the cheap spandex pants.
Right.
Cut the hole in the spandex pants, and we going in from the back right then there. Send the kids down to the little part of the playground. Y'all go down there and play. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. God, I didn't really do my time well when I was in there. No weed, no fun. So you guys would you guys find a Vic, somebody that had a wedding band on, and would you just catch him in the
in the blind area? You know what I mean?
And then what happened? You just surround him?
Back in the 90s, wasn't cameras everywhere in prison.
Right.
State joint really don't have any cameras. I don't know how it is now, but when I was going there, you catch a dude slipping, you catch him come out. Wait till you go sit on the shit jacket.
Yeah.
Come in there with your pants. You know what I mean? That's why there's certain ways to shit in the joint. When I shit, I take all my clothes off. I ain't finna, because you ain't gonna catch me with my pants down.
Right.
I'll fight you butt ass naked, swinging everything.
Yeah.
I don't give a
You shit naked.
I shit naked.
So you run in there and just tell the guy, hey, I'm gonna need
Don't
that.
tell the guy, I just told you, right, how hard it is, so you gotta be convincing. I'm coming in poking you, hitching your leg, like you just asked me earlier, do I know where to stab a motherfucker without killing him? Yeah. Hitching your arm, hitching his big, I hit you with the meaty part of your body.
Right.
That's convincing.
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna help you get that off. I got time. I'm not gonna sit there. If I gotta snap the whole finger off, that coming off.
Oh.
It got so bad too. We were going to the same weed guy, right? With the way he was like, man, my wife can't melt that many, because they were taking and melting it down and shit. He's like, man, but he was so scared that he was just, when times when he don't want to, man, he give us some weed.
Right.
Saturday weekend come, we want some weed, man. I'm running with little wild Miami dudes. We wade from home. We ain't got shit to lose. We ain't getting no visits.
Yeah.
We wade near Jacksonville.
Yeah. So
the further north I go, the wilder I got.
So you would jack a weed man if you needed to.
I'm looking for. I'd rather go. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that's the first source.
Right.
And we found a soft dude we consider a mob or somebody that ain't really ain't like that how they carrying themselves. And he just happened to be getting visits, and he happened to bringing some shit in, and we get the tip that he bring the shit in. Oh yeah, the wedding bands. We go take the whole dope, take the bomb.
Did you do hole shots? Did you ever go to the hole?
Man, I did CM time. I did coast management time. I've been behind the door 12 months at a time. Almost, excuse me, not 12 years, but 12 months. CM
at this
CM
time
state.
too, like in the state.
In the state.
Okay, so you didn't get away with everything all the time.
Nah, that particular ring that we was doing, the captain called me and my crew. People gonna snitch.
Yeah,
like I told you, prison is just like the streets.
Yeah,
people. So the captain called us in the office, a captain room. It was doing recall, and he had to talk with it like, I want all those wedding rings back. I'm like, Cap, what you talking about? You know what I mean? But I actually got transferred from that particular prison I'm telling you about for robbing a guy that was selling weed on the weight pile. You know what I mean? He was selling weed. We peeped him. Dude was buying weed from him, and me and my guys ran up on him while he was on the squat rack. So I told my guy, I was like, wait till he put the weight on his back.
That ain't fair, bro.
Yeah.
Man.
Poked him up a couple times. Shout out to my homeboy Gunja. That was me and Gunja and two more of my guys. We ended up getting transferred because a lot of these muscle-bound ass, strong cats running off the weight pile.
Yeah.
The COs them was out there near the softball area where they had flag football or something going on, and seeing the commotion there on the weight pile, and they hit the deuces.
So you get transferred out, but you got out with good time, which is wild. You got a 6-year sentence, but you got out in 4.
The reason I got out in good time, I finally was ready to come home. They sent me to a prison called Century up in North Florida. It was actually one of the last prisons in Florida. And I got there. Century was so wild at the time, you didn't have to work. You know what I'm saying? They were sending all the misfits there. So you just would go sign your name in the morning time for inside ground and go back to the unit. And I said, man, I'm ready to get the fuck out of here.
Because it's too violent. So they were just like, you guys don't even have to, we don't even want to let you out of your cells.
No, they let us out of our cell. It was just that, it was just so wild of an institution. They didn't care if you worked or not.
Right.
Only people that worked was that were trying to make some money, like the laundryman and the people working food service. Just enough work being done to keep the prison running.
Right.
But if you didn't want to work, you signed up for inside ground. And you go on. The only part about it, you had to stand in a long line every morning to make sure you sign in. So I got to a spot, I'm way Bucktooth, Florida shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I ended up winning a few days of good time.
Yeah.
Got out a little early.
So you came home, it's 96.
June of 96, I'm back in December 96.
Oh my God. Violation? Or you caught another case?
I violated as soon as I came home. I had 2 years paper, I never checked in. I never went to the PO. I mean, never went to them.
You're really just not giving a right now.
I'm really chasing the bag. I'm really, you know what I'm saying? I'm really up in the head. I'm really institutionalized.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
what about your parents and your father? I mean, have they abandoned you? Have you let them go?
Man, listen, my dad, like I told you, I'm a product of a heroin era. My dad, shout out to my dad, Pig, love him, real street guy. He had already passed. I lost my dad when I was like 15.
Was he an addict?
I hate to use that word about him. He was hooked on. He was hooked on dog. I guess you say you're addict. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to call him a junkie.
I mean, my dad was a Marine.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Vietnam, a lot of soldiers up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Pig, man. You know, I love him to death. You know what I'm talking about? But I ain't. My daddy wasn't in my life like that.
Yeah.
The streets raised me. My mom was a single mom. You know what I'm saying? Working jobs. You can't control no dude.
No. Okay, so you caught a case. You went back in December of 96. How long this time?
I did 7 years mandatory. I went in 96, got out 2003.
Over a robbery again?
Over another robbery.
Again, robbing tourists? What is this? What happened this time?
I jacked the guy coming out the hotel. I didn't know if he was a tourist or not. The guys that I was with, right, they had a Chevy that needed some work done on it. You know what I mean? And we all got roped off, and I took the charge. Because I was the one who jumped out and did it. Yeah.
At gunpoint?
No, not at gunpoint.
Okay.
Just snatched. He had a tote bag coming out of the hotel.
Damn, and now your rap sheet is just bop, long as. Although I'm shocked, like for Florida, it's actually not that much time compared to like a honky state, like where I'm from, Oregon. Like you probably would have been struck out at this time. You know what I mean? Or California, you'd be doing 25 with an L.
Yeah, 3 strikes law. Yeah, Florida up now. But back then, Florida was sweet. We had CRD, which was conditional release. You get 5 years and go do 5 months. That before Jeb Bush came from Texas and took over as governor.
Right.
And took us to 85% like the feds.
Right.
So it really set me up. You know what I mean? Like you said, all those prison sentences was short.
Yeah.
You know, you look at it, they 4 years and you go back and do 7. They was under 10. And when I went to the feds, you realize 10 years is short sentence in feds.
That's right. Okay, so now this final state stretch before you go down and go do Fed time, what was that like? How was that different than the first one? Because now you're a little older.
I'm mad on that. I'm mad and disappointed in myself.
Right.
I'm in the county for 2 years. I'm in the county from 96 to 98, fighting this robbery charge. At this particular time, the little 6 months that I was out in 96, me and my homeboys them started a spot called Machiavelli. You know what I'm saying? On 6-0, you know what I mean? That was the name of our spot. You know, shout out to Bo, shout out to Fred Ward, you know, shout out to my homeboys, and we started Machiavelli, right?
What, like a trap spot?
A trap spot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Weed, base, and lace. You know what I mean? That's coke, powder, you know what I'm saying, and weed, right?
Yep.
I mean, rocks, powder, and weed, base, and lace.
Why didn't you stick with drug dealing? Why didn't you try to become a better drug dealer instead of just jacking everyone?
At this particular time, I never consider myself a drug. I was a hustler.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at a hustle, you come up to me and sudden, like my homeboys, the ones I told you that picked me up in this regular ass Chevy, they came and got me. You see what I'm saying? I was on the block. I was building Machiavelli with my homeboys, but you come tell me, let's go spend the block, let's go look for something. I'm not turning no money down. We were just starting to build Machiavelli at the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not doing as well as we wanted it to. It's like doing like $1,500 a shift. You know what I'm saying? But it's growing. But soon as I got locked up, started doing like 10 a night.
10 G's a night.
You know what I'm saying? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it takes a minute for
the spot to grow.
To grow,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Fiends got to know that's where they got to go to get it.
You know, and you know, the product got to be at 1,000 because you're competing with all kind of other drug spots.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we built it, and before, like I mean, not but 6 months.
Yeah.
We just started Machiavelli. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of us eating off the same line. There ain't enough money for me to just be around there. I'm really waiting on my older brother that's up the road getting money, you know what I'm saying, in Tennessee to come get me. You know what I'm saying? So I could go up the road and get some of that good money.
Right.
That ended up happening after I got out.
I see.
7 years.
Okay, cool. So we'll get to that. Right, because that was the move, right? Now it's the late 90s. It's so flooded in Miami. The move was to, like the New Yorkers, go out of town.
It always been the move for Miami. I was telling you, I don't watch dudes used to be security guards. I don't watch dudes be meter readers that like go around your house, work for Florida Power and Light.
Right.
I don't watch them become big dope boys because they stumbled up on a multi-million-dollar crack house, blew money and coke in there.
Right.
I don't watch dudes be security guard on the beach working for the hotels and a key, you know what I mean, float up off the sea and now he in the dope game.
Now he's in the game.
I don't watch guys work for Sky Cap in the airport. You know what I'm saying? Dudes that work for the packages, they done started a drug ring in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that was like the hood lottery ticket back in the day.
Yeah.
You stumble on a dude that got killed and there's 3 keys right there. Well, I'm not a meter man. I'm not writing parking tickets
I got
anymore.
family in Alabama. I got family in South Carolina. Let me look. Cuz got this. Now you in the drug game.
Right. So your brother was in Tennessee at the time?
My brother was in Tennessee.
There's a lot of money in Tennessee.
Plenty of money in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Everything 20 up. Ain't no $5 spots. Ain't no $3 spots.
Right.
You dealing with white clientele now out of Sevierville. Out of
Knoxville.
Johnson City. You know, I mean, we in Knoxville. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I end up catching my Fed case.
But your time preference in economics, they call it having a high time preference, meaning you need it now. Like your vision of the future is like today. Whereas having a low time preference, you're like, okay, I'll spend a year building this spot up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wasn't patient enough. Dope game is a patient game.
For sure.
If you're going to do it right. You know what I mean? If you're going to do it right, let somebody just done hand you 300 keys and you just one flip, you done made. Dudes build from a 4.5, 4 ounces and a half to 6 to 9 ounces to a half a brick. I end up doing that later in the game. After I was tired of going in and out of prison. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But you asked me, how was the second 7 years? It was more violent. That's why I ended up going on CM, on that 7-year stretch right there. I'm in the county jail knocking out left and right. I'm mad. I'm very mad. You know what I mean? I'm on, you know what I'm saying? I'm upset with myself because I'm like, why did you go do this and y'all billing over here? I'm calling the streets, my homeboys, them eating. They got Escalades now. They got Suburbans and they, you know what I mean? They riding all kind of Broncos. And I'm like, damn, you done did it again. I f***ed up again. But I actually missed the biggest indictments being out the loop. My homeboys serving life sentence behind that era right there. So, the Most High had his hand on me then.
Right. Wow.
Prison saved me a lot.
Interesting. So, what is CM?
CM is close management.
Oh, and how did that?
If you're in Florida, you know what CM is. That's locked. That's a prison inside a prison.
Right.
That's. Some people say 23-1, and CM, we wasn't getting no 23-1. You come out 3 times a week. So there were days you got 24 and none. You come out every shower day. That's when you come out.
Right.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
And that's it.
That's it. You on lockdown.
What happened to catch that
punishment? I had a riot. I set a riot off in 1998. I set a riot off at Madison Correction with some Spanish dudes again. Y'all gonna like, boy, he don't like Spanish people. Nah, but that ain't what it is. It what it was. One of my homeboys was sitting on a Spanish dude bed at Madison Correction. One of my older homeboys, shout out to Tony Session, he had gave me the yard, meaning that he's the OG, the biggest OG there. He had a situation where he had a CO bringing him some work in. He fighting his law case. So he like, Jig, you know, you got the homies. So all the little young homies was following me. You know what I mean? So when the news got to me that the homie Junkie out of Scott Projects, some Chicos tried him in the unit. You know what I'm saying? They were finna do something to him. I had to make a call. Like, we can't put up, we can't allow that because they're gonna think, you know, we something to play with.
Right.
So I green lighted it. We all went on the rec yard. I went up to the Chico that he was kind of big essay or whatever. I went up to him like, hey, what's up with the problem with my homeboy? At this particular time, he sizing me up. He's aggressive. Oh, he sat on my bone like a no-go. And I'm like, y'all ain't finna touch him though. Oh, yeah. Once I seen that he wasn't with the politics, I set it off. Me and him was standing by the horseshoe pit. I actually went out there trying to politic it out. But when he was still aggressive, I ain't have no choice but to really set it off. And they was already ready. So when my homeboy seen me went to set it off, he had a little bang on, but he had something. He had like a fat knife. It was like made like a piece of metal that was shaped like more like a lawnmower blade metal. So it was more like a machete type, a little short one though. And he nipped me. I weaved it and he nipped me on my butt with it. And I dodged down to the horseshoe pit and I grabbed the horseshoes. And I started, you know, I tried to grab them like brass knuckles at the time, you know, and I'm weaving. I box a little bit too, you know what I mean? So I'm weaving, I'm putting the work in with him with the horseshoes. Bunch of little fights done took off around because, you know, his group and my homeboys, they fight. Shout out to Big Jit out of Hollywood. He went in. My cousin Pookie Black, he was on the yard. Pookie went out. The guy that we was out there defending, he rent on us. And a whole bunch of other guys rent off the rec yard. They locked the gate. They upped the little guns out the tower. We all laid down. You know, they got us to lay down because they know Florida, they gonna bust for real. Whatever. So
did you touch the dude with the horseshoes?
Yeah, I'm fighting, thumping him, man. I'm weed. He caught me with the he ain't no boxer. And we bumped. You know what I'm saying? But he fell over because we was near the horseshoe pit. And when I caught him with a blow with a hook, that's my favorite. You know what I mean? So when I caught him with the little hook, he slipped into the horseshoe pit. And, you know, I got down there on him. So I'm focusing on me and him fighting, you know what I mean? And all the other little fights going on. That's when the COs, the officers that worked on the yard, they when the deuces hit, they gonna rush the area. And we all went to see him. We all got locked up. All of us went to the hole that was left on the yard. The guy who we actually went out there for, he didn't go to see him. So I ended up catching 24 months on CM. Wow. But I ended up doing I got off early for the last 6 months of it. I got off early because I stayed off the dough, stayed out the way.
Yeah.
And got off
18
early.
months though.
You don't
18 months, 20, basically getting out of yourself to shower
3 times a week.
And that's it.
That's it. Shout out, I did CM time at Taylor Correction. I was there with my homeboy Body, Big Black from down south, and my homeboy Gator. All of them was on CM with me.
Now, did you start educating yourself with that time in the hole?
The 7 years wasn't no education.
Okay.
Only thing that I really got good at, I started reading books.
Okay. Well, that's
I
educating
really started
yourself.
but I would read like cowboy books and shit, Donnie Goins and shit. But I
Donald
fell in
Goins.
love with reading though.
Yeah. Well, you got to start somewhere.
I fell in love with reading.
I read many a Donald Goin, hood book while I was down.
Right.
I love those things, man.
Yeah. It's like watching a movie in that cell.
For sure.
Right,
For sure. So you got home what year?
I did 7 years. I went in 96. I got out 2003.
Okay. And your brother's still hustling?
My brother's still the man.
He's still on the street.
My brother's still the man.
Wow. So he's having a long run.
My brother's smart.
Okay.
My brother's smart.
He's smart.
He's smart.
He's
if I'd have listened to him, I would have never caught my Fed charge.
Okay. So that's interesting. So your brother's kind of the smarter, business-minded one, and you're the wild, violent one.
Right.
So you came home, you paroled back to Miami?
I did 7 mandatory.
Oh, meaning you had no tail.
I ain't got no papers.
Oh, wow.
The first time in my life, I'm free with no attachments.
Oh, my. Yeah, seriously.
I had a driver license and all. You couldn't tell me shit.
No, because you haven't been free since you were 15.
Man, listen, I got married. I thought I was a huckster. I thought I had done with legit. I'm selling dope now. I'm not robbing nobody.
Right.
Shit, I'm legit like.
To a hood cat, just not robbing means you're legit.
Yeah.
You're selling dope still.
I'm legit. You know, come not to everybody, but from where I come from.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like you feel more, I'm hustling. I'm trying to get a business and everything. I even started a little business from the door. I was trying to go the route that I spoke about earlier about my homeboys that taught us the game the right way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get a little business. I'm trying to do everything.
So
the right way.
When did you decide to go into business with your brother?
I didn't actually go into business with my brother. He sent for me. He was tired of me getting locked up. Mm-hmm. He was like, he called me like, boy, you want a stack or you want a half a stack? I say, shit. By this time, the language had done changed too. I didn't know what a stack was. When I went to prison, a G was $1,000. $1,000.
Yeah.
So he had called me. I had came home from prison. He was like, boy, I got a stack for you, or you want to have a stack? I said, shit, I want a stack. He said, get on the Greyhound. I got on the Greyhound. I had a starter jacket, a backpack. I ain't had shit, and I caught a bus up to Knoxville, Tennessee. Wow. My brother gave me my first little jump off.
What's a stack?
A stack, that was just $1,000. But that was his word of telling me, seeing what my mind was.
Right.
You know what I mean? He gave me way more than that. He put me in the game, you know what I mean? But I ended eventually breaking off, not listening to him, and started getting my own money.
Is he selling heroin or coke?
Nah, my brother was he had the coke, selling coke.
Okay. Yeah. Wholesale, or is he cooking it up?
My brother was selling wholesale, he was selling halves, but he was doing his strategically. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that, my brother might come out one time a day. Mm-hmm. When he's trying to go pick his kids up, he see everybody all the little sales or whatever he got going on, everybody he supposed to sell, everybody he supposed to break down, whatever, he'll come, including me. Mm-hmm. He'll come around and all us get straight. Okay. And he gone in. He wasn't with all the fancy cars. Right. He come through in the Suburban with his UM tag. Yeah. And that's with that. I don't want got fancy.
Did he have a good connect for his coke?
Yeah, he had one of the main ones. I don't want to mention his connect because he's still trying to fight. He's still trying to fight to come home right now.
Is this a Mexican connect or is this a Miami guy?
This. I'm just gonna put it like this here. This one of the Chico homeboys.
Okay, so he's a Chico. He's a Spanish guy, but from Florida,
from Miami.
Okay, so your brother had bricks. He had whole things.
My brother had whole things.
Okay, and
they know who my brother is. My brother Ace, man, one of booby partners out of Carrier City.
So he's making a lot of money. He's doing well for himself. So you start off just going hand to hand with fiends. What are you doing?
That's what I did. He put me in the projects. He put me with a female. I'm doing the zips. I'm doing the ounces. I'm doing the 4.5s. I'm doing that. You know what I mean? I'm doing well. Then I'm seeing well. I could break down and do the juggler game up here too, because they selling number 20s. I got the dimes out here too, so I'm doing a little more than what he expected. I'm not just selling weight. You know what I mean? I'm breaking me zips down too, and I'm rocking them down too.
Right. So you're undercutting.
I'm undercutting the little local dudes in the project because they ain't got the work ethic that I got.
Right.
I'm up here. I'm like the immigrant that just came across the water. Right. I'm hungry. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now y'all don't want to be open all night. Y'all want to go to the club. I get out there, there ain't nothing too small for me. I'm taking all of them. I ain't leaving nothing on the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're taking all the clients.
I'm not taking all the clients. I'm filling the void in the gap. They ain't the club. I got jugglers out here. And it got so popular to like the guys in the projects around there. I'm talking about on Lonsdale project in Knoxville, Tennessee. They start wanting them jugglers.
Which
they
are they want the crack.
They want my
rocks.
Dimes.
Right. So
my
they can break
dimes
it
versus
up.
making the 20s.
Right.
Because I'm making dimes as big as they 20s up there.
Right.
So now the fiends could come, you know what I mean? Because I got more weight than the guys that buying the weight from me.
Wow, that is a crazy micro trafficking. It's called now.
It's smart.
Man.
It's smart. It's like it's always fulfilling the need, man. I'm not leaving. I'm not. If that's all, I come up from Miami where we got 3-cent holes, 4-cent holes. Wow. What I mean by that there is, even in Miami, when a guy got the 5-cent hole, if you got 5 cents, which is $5, I'm gonna make my spot a $4 hole or a $3 hole because now I'm gonna make the baser or the smoker or the junkie, whatever language y'all want to call them. I'm gonna make them realize that, boy, you can come by. It may be a little smaller than the 5 cent, but it's gonna be potent. But you gonna come by for me, and you can maybe go to a Arab store and get you a beer,
right,
and some loose cigarettes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You got a little change. Then I'm gonna did that so much to where all the clientele coming to me. To now, I'm making my 3-cent jugglers look as big as your 5-cent jugglers. Cause I done sucked in all the money because it's the business strategy.
Right.
I done seen dudes say, okay, you want to sell a dime powder? I'm gonna make 5-cent pooches.
Pooches?
Pooches. That's a pooch.
$5
hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For just the guy that want to pack a cigarette. He just want to pack what we call raw squares. That's a cigarette, or we call them AKs. So now, dude might not have $10, but he want to fix him a raw square. So shout out to the fat boy that started the pooch game in Miami at Tiny's Bar.
So you took that and you brought it to Knoxville.
I brought it to Knoxville.
So basically, whatever the client wanted to sell, you could accommodate it.
I'm not letting no money go. Why let that $7 go because he ain't got 10? Bring all that. I'm gonna cut it down. I'm gonna cut it down and make the size for you.
Right. So how much can you push doing that like every week? Can you move a quarter of a key?
Man, listen. In Knoxville, you had from New York hustling. You had from Memphis hustling. You had from Miami hustling. You had from Chicago hustling. It's numerous amount of money in Knoxville, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? They call Knoxville Knox Vegas. They call Chattanooga Cashville. They call Chattanooga Chattanooga. They call Nashville Cashville. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee is
Tennessee.
All day.
How did you grow it? Did you start picking up more product from your brother?
I branched off from my brother.
Okay.
I wasn't listening to my brother. And that's how I ended up ultimately catching my Fed bid. I started going back to Miami on my own.
Right.
Plugging in because I didn't want to listen to him. I started getting too fancy. I was getting money, seeing money. Now I want to get all the cars with the rims on it. I got the El Camino with the 22 deuces on, all black. I got the Durango with the I'm getting loud. I'm going against what we trained to do. You in somebody else's town, you be as quiet as kept. I got the rose gold jewelry around. I'm hood rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm hood rich. Basically, I know what I mean?
What is hood rich? Like 100,000?
Nah, at my highest, and I know everybody in the comment, damn, I had $250,000 to myself, right there in the safe. You know what I'm saying? At my highest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you add all the assets that I got with me, I'm about $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got my jewelry. I got, like I told you, I got my different cars. I got a Chrysler. This 03. I got the Chrysler 300. I got the candy apple red Durango. I got the black El Camino with the 22 inch original on it, all black. You know what I mean? I got my Monte Carlo with the D's on it. You know what I mean? All chrome D's on it. You know what I mean? That's hood rich. Like, I am not one for nothing. You know what I mean?
Ghetto is
you remember the Chrysler 300? Back then,
that was a hot car.
No, listen. It was the hood Wraith.
Yes, it was. It was a hood staple. If you're getting any kind of money, you had to have that car, the Chrysler 300.
I wasn't big meat to nobody. I wasn't, but I was hood rich.
Right.
For my little, see, that's why I'm trying to tell you, like, when you a Miami boy, every city you hit, you that man.
Mm-hmm.
You
Why?
don't have,
Why? Because
you got the work.
Reputation?
I got the plug.
Right.
It ain't about the reputation. I got the plug.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I got the prices for the before BMF. Meets them took over around the 2000, right? You had to come to Miami to get that 17.5 or that 15 for the brick.
Right.
But when Meets them actually, you know what I'm saying? And his quote is on record. It ain't dry snitching on me. He done went and done time for this. Yeah. BMF turned that thing around in Atlanta. I stopped running all the way down to Miami, you know what I'm saying? Because I got to go past Atlanta to get to Miami. Only thing I was running to Miami for at this time now is we had the best X pills in the world.
Okay. Talk about that a little bit. Because this is the Ecstasy era, the early 2000s.
That's why I told you I'm a hustler. When you look at my indictment, I got pills, guns, fake money, you know what I'm saying? And coke.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I got an 8-count indictment. I ended up getting 21 years and 10 months, which is 262 months.
And that was in 2006?
Yeah, 2006.
Okay, so who was your new connect in Atlanta?
My new connect in Atlanta?
Yeah.
I had a homeboy, and he wasn't so much of a connect. He just knew somebody that was fooling with me at the time. Right. I had a homeboy named Jimmy that I growed up with, and he would get me on white in my.
He would just go get you a bird or two. How much were you picking up?
It wasn't no bird or two. I scratched my money out. You know what I mean? I scratched a lot of people in the comment last time. Oh, he wasn't moving nothing. Nah, I wasn't quote unquote. Like I told you, I'm a hood rich. I'll stop and get me a half a brick right there because it's quicker to run. Or I done bought a brick at one time right there, certain different times because it was quicker to run to Atlanta 3 hours away from Knoxville.
Right.
Than running all the way back to Miami. But I wouldn't go all the way back to Miami until I had to go get me some pills.
I see. So yeah, I mean, half a kilo is still a lot of work.
And you breaking it down like, you know what I mean? I could get it within 3 hours back, you know what I'm saying? Right. And I went a few times and got a brick.
How much were you paying on, say a whole brick? Show us the profit margins from picking up wholesale in Atlanta, and then what do you sell that brick for in Knoxville?
My home was putting a tab on me, so I wasn't getting the 17.5. I was getting 19 right there, 21.
Is it good product though?
It's solid. It's that shit. I'm paying 21. I'm paying 20.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My homeboy putting his little thing on it because I don't want to meet your peoples. Yeah. I just want to grab. So shout out to my homeboy Jimmy. But I will do that only when it was a necessary I done rent out. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? But when I need my pills, which was my real money maker, I'm going to Miami and I'm spending $5,000, you know what I'm saying? And I'm getting me 1,000 pills.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's $5 a pill. Right. You feel what I'm saying? I come back to Knoxville, these pills is $20 a pill.
Oh.
You do the math now. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't really care nothing. Like if my everything's selling in Knoxville. Everything's selling. From weed, you got the dudes that selling the coke, they buying the weed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's an ecosystem of everything around it. If you controlling all that and you always got something, you a hustler.
So you were making more money selling ecstasy.
I was great.
I mean, that's,
you know what I would do?
That's 400% profit.
You know what I would do? I would sell my I would sell them in packs. You want now I'm telling you, I'm paying $5 a pill. You want to come buy 10 pills, give me $150. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I would do that so they could go and make them some money in the club. You know what I'm saying? So I would do that for them. You know, give me $150. He go 10 pills.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got people come to me, they buying them all on the weekend, Fridays, club nights, Friday, Saturday. I could sell 300-400 pills.
Yeah.
Easily. Now when that run out, when them 5,000 pills gone, I'm back on the road.
Yeah.
Oh, now, if I'm back on the road, ain't no sense of me stopping in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, and getting no coke. I'm just going to get all my weight and everything one-stop shop in Miami. And
so you just drove it back yourself?
Nah, I had one thing I perfected. I never got caught trafficking.
Okay.
I never got, know why? I always learned that it's a gimmick when you be on that road. When you be on that road, you have to have a reason because them state troopers, and then you have to learn the route. You got to learn the hot spots. And I knew that road. But what I did was something genius, man. I give myself kudos to that, right? I would always rent the Rangos, right? Because it had the suitcase rack on the top, right? And them suitcase racks, you got the each one of them suitcase, you get a star wrench, and it's a cone. It's a cone. When you pull it up, it's like a cone that you could put. You duct tape wrap. You could compress your blow. You could put 9 ounces and some pills in each one of them cones. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, right? The suitcase rack, where you put the clothes in. So I always was thinking like, have it on the roof. Right,
so because the dogs can't get up there.
Really, then I just love to be riding in rainy weather. I try to do that much as possible.
Totally.
Make sure I check the weather. If it's gonna be raining real hard, I catch a rainy weather, a storm coming, I'm getting on the road.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Then I did the most genius part. I had 2 crack addicts from Knoxville, Amos and Jill. Shout out to Amos, man. He gone now. Rest in peace. Good white dude. He got hooked on crack, right? Because of Jill. Which was his girlfriend, wife, or whatever. She was an ex-prostitute. She took this man, which was a good white dude, one of my best friends, man, one of my guys. She took this man, he had a legitimate painting company, car detail painting company. She got him hooked on crack, and he was a pawn in her life ever since. They used to buy from me. And like I told you, the clientele in Knoxville was white. So I would get on the road in that Durango. I would lay the seat back in the back, and I would put them 2 older people in the front, Amos and Jill. And they would ride me 16 hours to Miami and 16 hours back. Good. When I get to Miami, I put them on Biscayne Boulevard, set them in a hotel room, and give them that straight drop.
Yep.
If I come back, Amos and that bitch, cause up they used to that whip dope up there in Knoxville. But when you get to Miami, none of the dope whip.
So you guys never got pulled over, never got popped?
Never got popped.
Nice.
Never got popped. Yep. My mistake was later on down the line.
So how did you catch so much time? What happened?
Like I told you, I never got caught trafficking. What happened was that I told you in my indictment, I got an 8-count indictment. I had some fake money in there. Now, I kicked myself in the ass. One of the trips down to Miami, I let one of my homeboys, I was copping a half brick from him, and I was finna go get some pills. He walked in the room as we putting the shit together. He had some fake money. And he was like, boy, look at these right here. He wanted $300 for $1,000. I'm getting money. Yeah. But my biggest downfall is I can't turn a hustle down.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm looking at myself and I'm saying, what I could do with it? But the money, look, he told me to pull out a 50 and I pull out a 50. But that's when you remember when the 50s first came out when they were pink.
Yes.
Like pink 50s. He pulled out the 50 and then one of them was pink. I pulled out a 50 that I had and I'm looking at him like, you can't tell this. Only thing, they had the same serial numbers. All the bills had the same serial number. And I'm looking, I'm like, so I was like, fuck it, man. You know what I'm saying? Give me 3,000 of them. I gave him $900. Took me 3,000. At this particular time, like I told you, I had thought I got legit. I had my wife with me. I'm not gonna name her, but she my co-defendant. I had her with me. And she wanted to do everything she see me do. She bought 3,000 of it. We Bonnie and Clyde now. So she give him $900. So now we got 6,000 of fake money that we did, that counterfeit 50s? Money.
50s?
That we didn't need. We was there to buy dope and pills.
Yeah.
So I brought it back to Knoxville, and I was having fun with the money. Cause it was just play. The young guys was coming to me buying the 4.5, coming to me buying ounces, and when they give me the money and I give them a change, I slip a 50 in there.
Bad karma.
But let me show you what happened. Those same young guys would come back to me not knowing, and when they reeing up, they give me some of the money back. I can't say nothing like, hey, look, this money, they gonna borrow. Cause I'm the one pushing the shit out in the streets. Right. So I'm like, I ended up buying a few pounds of weed from a guy and worked some of the 50s off. So I got rid of my 50s the right way. my damn wife, she's going into the malls. Knoxville only got 2 malls at the time, West Town and East Town Mall. She's going into dealers, and she's working the fake 50s. She was getting away with it. That's how good the money was looking. But once it ran through their system, learning this later on after we fighting the case, because it's actually in our discovery that they said that they had noticed that fake 50s was being worked through. So they zeroed in on the counters and played the camera back, and they had a picture of her.
I see.
Right?
And the same serial number on all of them.
So it's we the ones been pushing it. So this particular is December of 2005. That it was the Christmas holiday. The day my stomach was feeling bad, I was like, man, she said, come ride to me with the mall. I had like $1,500 in my pocket. I had some drugs on me, and I had a gun. So we jumped in. I had bought her this Monterey Sport. So we jumped into Monterey. I didn't want to go. Like, something is telling me, like, but my stomach hurt, and I went to the mall with her, and we ended up going to East Town Mall. And as we was in the mall, I was, going to my favorite designer part, Polo. I'm over there looking at some Polo shit. We had these Nextel phones, and my phone wrong, and I'm looking at the phone. I'm like, what the fuck she calling me for? I could see her right here. She's in another department returning something. Well, it's these 2 big white guys with her, right? And they start walking towards me with her in the middle. Now, my wife at this time used to wear stilettos heels, like 6 inches. She loved the heels. So, and I got a gun and I got drugs in the Monterey Sport in the parking lot. So when they walk up to me, they were like, excuse me, sir, you know this lady? You with her? I'm looking at her face looking all like crazy and shit. And I'm like to myself, like, yeah, what's going on? They're like, we need to discuss some money. Will you come with us? My first mind is like, hell no, take off. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking down at her heels, and it's my wife. I'm like, I can't leave her, know what I'm saying? So let me see. I know I ain't did shit. So I walked with her. I walked with them. We went to the back of the mall, and that's when they explained that, so I pull my money out of my pocket like, shit, I ain't got no fake money. Look at my money. You know what I'm saying? So they accused me and her from using fake money. Where I fucked up at was, I'm like, I can't run because they got us in this lot. Once you go in that, it's like a police station part of the mall. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I know we going to jail, and I'm thinking like, why I'm going to jail? I ain't did shit. I ain't passed shit. So when the actual Knoxville police came, I asked them, can I make a phone call? Because I didn't want them to go to the truck with a gun and shit. I didn't want them to know that we drove here. So I'm saying, like, can I make a phone call because we just left the house, and we didn't notify nobody. We got kids at the house. And he was like, yeah, sure. So I called her mother-in-law. I called my mother-in-law, which is her mother, and I said, hey, Nana, me and Lou, I almost said her name, but me and my wife at the time, me and her finna get locked up. I tell you about it. I need for you to go up, and I told her where I had one of the little lock boxes where I keep my money at. It's one pull down attic. It was right there. So I'm telling her I need for you to grab some money and make bond for us. And I'll tell you about it. They took that phone call and we went to jail. It's December 24th. No, December 23rd. The day of Christmas Eve, they got a warrant from a judge, went to his house or whatever, and got a search warrant for our house, saying that they took that phone call as probable cause that I was telling Nana to hide counterfeit making. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Contraband, yeah.
Contraband. So they rushed the house. I had guns, drugs in the house, X pills. Mm-hmm. And that's the beginning of my fed. Then mind you, I say this 04, right? This 05. We didn't go fed right away. They rushed the house. They found all this shit. We didn't go fed, but the feds looking at us now. Right. Because of the drugs, the guns, shit like that. We both bonded out. Right. I end up I'm out fighting this case, and I end up getting caught up at a little spot where I served some little young cats at near off Cherry Street right there in East Knoxville. I jumped out on the police and left a gun and drugs in my car. So now they got this 04 case pending, and they got a new drug and gun case. And you know back then the feds was indicting anything. So they took both of them. That's how I ended up getting an 8-count indictment. You know what I'm saying?
How much product did they get? How much work?
In the house, they found, I don't know how many X pills. You got me thinking too hard. I don't know how many X pills. They found X amount of X pills in the house. They found some actual steel, some counterfeit money. They found more guns than anything. 'Cause I was damn near a gun collector.
Yeah.
They found a 45. They found a 10 millimeter. The 10 millimeter, they found that inside the truck that day of the second charge. They found a couple of little 25, little pretty pearl 25s I got for her. I had a Winchester. I had I said the 4.5. They found 9. They found maybe a few ounces of dope because I probably was at the end of everything, and they didn't find no money because Nana had done moved the money in my safe, my lockbox. She couldn't get it open. She took it to which is my ex-wife cousin. She took it to him and he opened it up, so my money wasn't in the house when they rushed the house.
But I mean, how did you get a 21-year sentence? That just seems
I just
crazy.
told you. So now, if you know statutes, I got a 924C for one case. Then I got a 924C for another case. I got a 04, a 05 case, and a 06 case. That's 8 counts of drug trafficking. 920. When they give you a gun case, they give you a 922G, which is possession of a gun. Then if you possessing a gun within the furtherance of another crime, they give you the 924C, which is possession of a gun in the furtherance. So them two gun cases, right? So them 4 of them on 2 different cases, gun and drugs. Then you add the drugs. On both cases, you know what I'm saying? That's 6 cases.
Right.
That's 6 charges. Then you add the counterfeit. That's another charge. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I got an 8-count indictment.
Did all of your state record, did that come into play?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so they can do that in the feds.
In the feds. They that's why I got sentenced as a career criminal.
A career criminal, right.
They didn't
which is accurate.
They could have got me for you got to have 3 prior convictions. Now you remember, one of my priors was as a juvenile.
Right.
So they couldn't use that one.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I only had 2 prior convictions, which gave me a career criminal.
Oh, man, that sucks. So when did you go in?
I went in 2006.
Okay.
And never see the daylight till 21.
Wow. Whole generation passed. That's wild. And it's not like, even though you're a grown man and hood rich now,
So you relates to heavy on the hood, Rich.
It didn't really calm you down. I mean, you were doing man time.
It was the most time I ever seen in my life. This is when my life changed.
Right.
This is when you see my book Pressure right here. I wrote Pressure. I wrote another book called Federal Pressure. Now, this is the part of the interview where I explain to you why I'm where I'm at in this journey that I'm on. All the things that I shared with you thus far was chapters out of my life leading into the man that I am today. Like, I'm an activist. I'm a 5,000 role model. I got a podcast that I'm bringing new identity back to Miami. Teaching the young boys that, criminal activity and the life that I live is not the way. Get a trade. It's smarter. The math is smarter. So I'm on a path of redemption. So when I went in the feds with the most time that I ever had at one time, a double-digit sentence, I changed. You know what I mean? Even though the riot took place behind one of the biggest riots, and not, I still was a changed man. That's why so many people went in for me. I wasn't starting shit. I wasn't robbing people for their red bands. I was working in Unicor. Yeah. I was working in fed. I was a teacher's aide. You know what I'm saying? I was helping dudes get their GED. I had done turned my life around. I became Muslim.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. Well, let's plug the books. I still want to talk about your Fed time and anything else we didn't get to. Maybe we'll go do that on the Patreon. But let's talk about the books. Let's talk about the books and let's tell people where they can get them. Tell us about Pressure.
Well, Pressure, you inside when y'all read the book Pressure, man, you can find it on Amazon. My name is right there, Keithan Hunter. That's my government name. A real OG out of Miami is the subtitle, because that's in itself is paperwork.
Yeah.
Like I've been on the internet since I came home 2000, a little bit before, since I had a phone in the joint. You know what I'm saying? I've been on the internet putting a message out to the youth in Miami that we losing our identity. While I was doing time, I heard about the Crips and Bloods and GDs and Vice Lords coming to Miami.
Wow.
And I'm like, who started that? Where'd that come from? We Miami boys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're giving away your birthright for as being immune to the politics of other cities, and we are known from going to other cities and bringing work.
Right.
Ambassadors. So I like to think of us as having diplomatic community in those cities. Like myself, when I was in Knoxville, there were GDs, Vice Lords, Crips, Bloods. Yeah. I was a Miami boy.
Right.
I was able to serve all their ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, I'm a hustler first. So when I seen that identity changing from my city of Miami, I thought it was important for me to get out in Miami and say, hey, y'all tighten up, man. Y'all out here banging, and this ain't your creed. Because if you end up going in two places, and this the message to y'all young cats, ain't but two places you're gonna end up selling drugs in the streets, doing gang banging, is in jail, in prison, or that's if you lucky, or in that graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So I felt like being an OG is not an original gangster to me, it's offering up guidance. So the first place I'm gonna start is my city where I done the most damage at.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote those 2 books while I was in doing Fed time, so I could come out with a message. I could come out leading. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to see young guys throw their life away as long, you know, the mistakes that I made, the shit that I just talked to you about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got better choices now.
For sure. And Miami is like booming. It's like the greatest city on earth. There's so much opportunity. Everybody's getting legal money, sketchy money. You meet a lot of chicks rubbing their on OnlyFans, but hey, they built $1 million businesses. Like network with these people,
right?
You know, like you don't have to stay in like this tiny little pocket of the hood. You got this whole giant world on that beachfront. Just the most international city on earth. Like it's
all the screamers down there, all the content creators down there. You got the internet. You got this era. I just interviewed a guy that just signed the first AI artist for $3 something. He just got out the feds.
He signed
the AI artist.
How do you sign
R&B AI artist? Look it up.
I've heard of this.
I met the guy. I spoke to the guy at a Rick Ross, my home. Shout out to the boss, man, for inviting me to the networking event that I just recently Friday. Wow. I met some very interesting people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But how do you sign an AI artist? How do you sign a machine?
I'm still trying to find out.
Yeah.
We talking about getting into new fields
right.
and new ways to get money. This the dope right now. I'm still selling dope. I'm selling dope stories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm taking a negative and making it a positive, and I'm leading and putting on for my city. We want the Miami stories.
Yeah.
They gave you the BMF story. What about the Miami boys?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got a story. We got a longer ride in this story here.
For sure.
That's why I'm wearing shout out to my homeboys, man. That's why I wore the shirt, man. Miami Kingpins out everywhere right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On all platforms. Go watch Miami Kingpins. You know what I'm saying? Check my homeboys out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch it. Yeah, that is a pretty remarkable. I mean, yeah, it's a wild life, bro.
It's my life,
but it's what makes you who you are, man.
I mean, you know, I was kind of excited coming to. I see what you got going on over here, man. I love it. You know what I mean? I think podcasting. I think true crime. I think this right here is the new wave. People are not even much paying attention to like when I was paying attention. People are not watching series no more. Like on TV now, people are podcasting on they spring. But it's who doing it the best.
Yeah. And
you got one of the biggest following right now. So it's like, to me, it was a honor to come sit down in front of you, man.
No, we're honored to have
you.
Here. We're honored to have you. Most people don't have a story like yours. So
yeah, it's my story.
Yeah, and just anybody from Miami that lived through those years and survived to tell it. is gonna be a charismatic cat like you.
We just scratched the surface.
Well,
we're gonna talk a little more. They could go where you told me to go.
Yeah. Go over on Patreon, patreon.com/theconnectshow for more stories with Keithan.
I ain't finished plugging the books though.
No, we're gonna keep plugging.
Amazon, I got another one on Federal Pressure.
Federal Pressure.
It talks about that riot that you heard about me on there. It talks about how that happened. It's a little more in depth in the way that I explained it. So make sure it's on Amazon. I bought a copy of it.
We'll pop it all up.
We'll pop it up.
It's all going to be plugged.
Yeah, but both of them on Amazon. If not, you can inbox me, man. I mail out money through Friday. I'm still serious. I want my story to get everywhere.
And check your podcast, right? Check your channel.
Check out What They Do podcast, man. That's an affirmation in itself. And I'm gonna put you up on game. When you in Miami, right? First of all, when you go to Chicago, they say, "What's up, Joe?" When you go to New York, it's B, son. You know what I'm saying? When you go other places, you hear the lingo of the city, right? When you come to Miami, the greeting is what they do.
What they do.
You know what I'm saying? And it's affirmation though. That I'm gonna give you the answer so you know it's whatever we tell them to. It's whatever we tell it. It's a swag.
Yeah.
And I thought it was important for me to bring that back to Miami, to young cats in Miami. Like, we bosses, man, and all right. Like, we come from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? We out the Atlantic Ocean.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't go and get down to nobody else's creed and become workers and Duke boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's enough to be a Miami boy.
Yeah, and there shouldn't be any Bloods and Crips in Miami. It's too nice. It's too tropical.
I don't know who started it.
That's crazy.
But check this out. I don't want to be one of them guys attacking those organizations. Because when you look at Bloods and Crips, these guys got grandmas and grandfathers. That's the way they brought up. So you gotta respect the code of the land.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it ain't Miami code.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I met some real GDs. I met some real Bloods. I know they got a creed to that shit. That's why a Miami boy would never pull rank in any facility over those guys that were born into that shit. So why do it? Why not just be a Miami boy? Nah, do what the you want to do. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And do it loud. That's why they RICOing all this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I promise you, when you in that cell, I just spoke to you about the 24 and nuns. You gonna remember the OG told you, man.
Yeah.
Stop associating your shit online because it's a fashion, it's cool. The flag.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, goddamn, I need a nap after this, bro. This was like watching a movie.
Yeah.
So let's go over, but let's talk more because there's plenty more stories that might even be too gangster for the regular YouTube. So check out Pressure and Federal Pressure. OG, Keith and Hunter, the man, dude, putting on for Miami.
All day,
I love
man.
it, bro.
I'm the first one from Miami you had on here.
You're the first black gentleman we've had from Miami. We've had some, we usually just talk to like.
Look how you said that, black gentleman.
Yes,
I'm a gentleman. Yeah,
that's right. Absolutely, sir.
Yeah,
we talked to the big old school Cuban kingpins, right? We had the Cocaine Cow, a couple of cats with the Cocaine Cowboys on. What's
Sal or whatever.
Not Sal, but his worker.
Oh yeah, I remember one who actually gave them the plug, put them on. I think I seen them.
That's right.
Like shout out
George.
To that boy. Yeah.
Jorge Valdez, who put on the Cocaine Cowboys.
Yeah.
We also went to Miami and interviewed. John, help me out. What's his name? Peggy Rossello, and he's the one who took care of all the houses. He was Sal and Willie. He was one of their in-laws. He was married to Willie's wife,
right?
Or excuse me, Willie's sister.
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah.
So we know all about the Latino cocaine culture. But you're the first one out of the hood, man.
Oh, shout out to Miami, man. I put us on, but listen, Sal. They owe my big homeboy, Big Trab, man. Big Trab. First, I'm gonna try to see how I can hook you up. Big Trab.
Love to talk
listen, the first guy that was on death row, federal death row, he was on American Most Wanted. You know what I'm saying? He's the original Miami boy. Shout out to Big Trab.
Did he get out?
He out. Did 37 years in the feds.
And he beat his case.
No, he don't beat his case. He finished his time.
Okay.
37 years in the feds.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Got off death row. All factual, man. They know what I'm talking about. Big Trap, one of the biggest out of Miami, man. That's my big one. I'm going to send you pictures of all that shit.
Well, what's ironic is that Sal's never coming home. He himself properly.
But Sal Trav kind of like took care of Sal on the inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Trav that man. Trav that man in the feds.
Because, you know, a lot of those dudes that move crazy weight, they weren't tough guys.
Nah.
And so, like I said, they were business-minded guys. And, you know, a lot of them did rat. But some of them just did their time. They did 20 and they came home. So it's like, if you're in the streets, if you must hustle, don't do it violently, because they're gonna throw the key away, you know?
Right.
So, but we don't promote any of that shit, because there's so much legit money. If you really don't just stay in Overtown, look to the future.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there's crazy things happening right now.
Right.
Some of them not good. I don't know how I feel about the future of AI, but there's a lot of money to be made. So get yours.
Definitely.
Keith and Hunter, thank you so much for coming all the way out here, man.
Man, you know what it is, man. Thanks for having me, man.
You got it.
Make sure y'all tap in, man. What They Do podcast.
What They Do podcast and Pressure on Amazon. We'll see you over at Patreon. Patreon.com/TheConnect Show. Peace out.